You've watched all those other videos, and so I figured I'd do some walkthroughs of these problems since they tend to be getting harder and more difficult for people. So I'm looking at the first problem in this week's homework, and I'm seeing that the IQ scores are normally distributed with a mean of 100 with a standard deviation of 15. Now that's for the population, not for the sampling distribution. That's what we're dealing with now, because now we've got samples of 81, size 81, and we want to see how the average of all those samples of possible samples of size 81, in other words, if we went out and collected 81 IQ scores, what's the mean? If we did that again, what was the mean? And another 81, what's the mean? We'd know they'd fall in a normal distribution with the center of them being 100, because that's the population standard deviation, or mean. And then to get the standard deviation, how they vary around that mean of 100, we're going to use that formula to get the standard deviation. We take the standard deviation that we think for the population, and we divide that by the square root of the sample size. So since we've got 15 and we've got samples of size 81, we're going to do 15 divided by 9, because the square root of 81 is 9, and that's where they got 1.7. So you'll get a different value, you'll get a different sample size, and you'll just have to replace, instead of 81, you'll write whatever your sample size is. Now again, that's the same deal here. Now we've got a sample size of 144. Same center. It's just what's going to happen, there's going to be a lot less variation in sample size because larger samples have less variation. Okay. Actually, this will probably go higher because it still has to have the same area. But same deal. I'm going to take 15 and divide it by the square root of 144, which is the same thing as 15 divided by 12. And that's where they got the 1.3. Hopefully that'll help you answer that question.